G'day, mate, and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included with me, Jetty. So, we're doing two things this episode. We're trying to get our rockets up and running, and yes, they're steam rockets. Yes, we'll get to why they're steam rockets. I've actually got to rebuild the telescope because I removed it and we haven't rebuilt it since. So, no, it should be fine. So yeah, we're going to try and get our rocketry program back up and running. The other thing that we desperately need to do now that we have a petroleum boiler up and running is come down here and actually get some oil. And we're going to use these oil reservoirs to do that. Now, under one of these tabs, utilities, oil well. So, what we can do is we can put one of these things on, what's your overheat temperature? You don't have an overheat temperature. Perfect. Okay, so what we can do is we can put an oil well on top of the oil wells. The oil reservoirs. There we go. That's new printable. Okay, and we can put in 1 kilogram per second of water and get out 3.3 kilograms per second of crude oil. So, that's our plan. On top of that, what happens is these fill up with back pressure, and then a duplicate needs to manually come down here and empty them. When that happens, they kick out a whole bunch of natural gas. On top of that, they also kick out... What else do they kick out? No, that's just it. Which means that the water in here does have a risk of overheating. So that's something else we're going to have to take into consideration. And consequently, I have a lovely little build where you're just going to slap together really, really quickly. First off, we need a ground. Second thing we're going to need, because they throw out natural gas, is going to be a pump. We do want to make that out of steel because it's going to get awfully toasty in here. We need to put in automation, Atmos sensor. Yeah, that lead should be fine. Doesn't really matter. We're going to want a water lock. And that's pretty much it. It's built. Oh, no. We're going to need a... Okay, so we're going to need a couple of things. We're going to need a power line in to power everything up. We're going to need a plumbing line in sedimentary rock. And we're going to need a gas line out. Again, sedimentary rock. Oh, and a temp shift plate. Out of copper. Because the idea is... That's not exactly the best place. We'll put the temp shift plate there behind the machine instead. Okay, so the idea is we're going to fill up the bottom of this machine with... can I... Nope. Okay, and you're going to obviously need a roof because we're pissing down other stuff. Okay, let's just get the printables done. So... Oh, I hate you. I don't know who submitted this because I haven't been keeping submitter's name plus duplicate name in my list. Bad JD. But I'm assuming this is going to be a replacement for Duplicant or Duplicant, whatever. They're dead. And this name. Okay, cooking supply, cooking, decorating, supplying, useless. Operate, decorating, building, Supplying farming. We're going to take it supplying farming. They can't build and they're a narcoleptic. Or we can take somebody allergic to fire. No, we're going to take Dupey McDupeface. I hate you. I hate you. I hope that your dupe dies in one cycle or less. Okay. So, let's do a quick deconstruct of these gas pipes before I forget. That. Power. That. Automation. Nope, that's conveyors. Automation. And then deconstruct. Buildings. That. And that. Okay. So, we're going to pump clean water in. We're going to get out oil. Oil's going to spill on the ground. Oil's going to fill up to this tile here. After it fills up to that tile, it's going to fall on the ground. That's fine. Because we've got one here. Well, one oil well here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're just going to fill this whole area full of oil wells. But I need to get one up and running. And then we're going to just use our blueprint tool to copy and paste it. On top of that, our little pump that could has filled up all of these. Hang on, let's cancel that mop task. Sweep mop orders, cancel. Our little pump that could has filled up all these tanks, every single one of them, luckily, with nothing but polluted water. This is still a little bit of a mix, but it's out of space. So we're going to give it a few more sections it can deal with and keep filling up these tanks. On top of that, we have polluted water, polluted water, we have crude oil, we have brine, we have more brine, we have crude oil, polluted water, mainly a lot of polluted water with a little bit of crude oil. If we look down here, there's still a little bit of brine. There's some petroleum in here as well for some reason. Probably because we boiled it, actually. Speaking of boiling things, inside a tile, you're only 28 degrees. Yeah, you're doing a pretty good job of insulating us in. So we shouldn't rapidly change anything to steam, thankfully. What temperature is that? 79 degrees. Okay. So, we're going to set up some plumbing, set up some liquid filters to deal with some of these tank problems. Like so. And I'm going to go like so. I'm going to hook up all your outputs. Inputs there. Okay. So, what I want to do is I need to get clean water down here to fill this system. So, we're going to put in some tiles. Nope. They're in the wrong spot. All, please. That's still in the wrong spot. Some tanks, some power transformer out of gold amalgam, that'll do. Some heavy conductive wire, that'll do. Building tomb, long commutes. Actually, building broken. So this is one of the things I'm trying to get rid of. No, we can't reach those tiles. Mafic rock. That one. I'm just trying to deconstruct some of these broken ladders, just so I don't have to see them anymore. I don't have to have this constant marker up here. Okay. We're going to put in a power line, add a lead right across there into all three of you guys. What else do I want? I want mesh tile. 46. We're going to do all the ground, so at least then when things melt, they can just pass straight through. We have polluted water, which means I'm going to want to sieve the polluted water. Because I need clean water down there. I'm going to put a bridge in, that way it gets priority into there, and then we need to bring the clean water down here, which we'll worry about in a minute. Can I get, no, those please, and those. Okay, plumbing. We're gonna have the first one deal with polluted water, done. The second one I want to deal with oil, which we should have, yep, there's an oil line right there. Which we can dump in like that. Our third one, we're going to have you be clean water. So a lot of bridges. And we can shove our clean water in here when we get that far. Can I just copy, paste, please? Can I mirror you around so you dump out this way? Sure. Let's do exactly that. Gas pump. Atmo sensor. Automation wire. Oh. Good one, JD. No, we need insulated pipe. Because that room's going to be very hot. Okay. I need to work out how these are going to work. So we're going to have... like that. Yep. Power. That's even smaller than that one. Yeah. It's smaller. Okay. Blueprint the whole thing. Paste there. Join up. Okay, so we are definitely going to need some some ladders to get in and out of sedimentary rock. High waterfall. Deconstruct buildings, Prey 9, all of those. Okay. Prey 9, that place. Just need this running. Okay. You're gonna do, what was it? Polluted water. Polluted... polluted water. You're going to do crude oil, and you're going to do water, which is at the other end of the thing. I don't know why. Starvation. Yeah, Bojo, you actually starving? Yeah, okay. So you're starting to get a little bit hungry. Okay. Priorities. 9. All of that, please. Like, I need this done now. This is actually an urgency. We need to have this flowing, yeah, like right now, so we can actually start sorting out these liquids. And our pump that could is no longer coulding because these are not built either. 8. Okay. I'm going to set you Atmo sensor above, max it out. Okay, so you're going to dump oil onto the floor. When enough oil has accrued on the floor, it's going to flow over this tile, make ourselves a water lock, and flow over this tile onto the ground. Water lock is great because it means when this expels the natural gas, we've already got a built-in water lock. We're going to make sure this room is full of nothing but natural gas. Because it's full of natural gas, you know, we can just have a pump without having a filter, bring out the natural gas. Speaking of pipes, and you don't really, we just flow it out. No. Okay. So that's the plan with this one. Plan is also to put in one of those. Yes, okay. So all the oil is going to spill on the ground, which means I can put one pump down here to collect all the oil. Or can I get all the oil to flow this way? So if I didn't put this tile in here and I reverse this one... Nope. Okay, maybe I'm just going to clear out a couple of tiles on this side and have the oil pool here. Because I have this one, and this one. If I get all these to flow this way as well, it means I can put down one pump, potentially, to take all of these. Because, well, that's the other thing. These are going to put out a lot of oil. They're going to put out 3 kilograms per second, depending on dupe availability to release the pressure. because that's one of the things these do. They slowly build up with pressure from the water being pumped in, gives you a byproduct of natural gas. When the duplicates come down here and release the pressure, all that natural gas gets dumped out, at which point we're going to pump it away and burn it for more power, because why not? So yeah, that's something else we need to keep in mind, that, yeah, we're going to be pumping out the natural gas that's going to give us power. We're going to be putting in water, which is going to give us oil. Water source is something I'm going to have to worry about shortly, but not right now. And I've got pipes. Because if you don't have any output, the whole system is going to block up. Which it's done. Okay. Priority 9, all of that. Priority 9, that. Power line down to there, which I forgot to build. Conductive wire. Bring you across. Where's my water pipe? My water pipe's there. I now know this is going to be ground level. So liquid reservoir. 1, 2, 3. Yep, we're gonna have 3, it seems. We're gonna have you conveniently come in there. You're gonna bridge on and provide a backup. And yeah, that'll do us. And then we should be able to do something like that. I don't think we need the bridges. I think it should just flow. I'm not sure. I think it should be okay. Okay, meanwhile, oxygen. Yeah, we've pumped out most of the CO2 in this area. Not all of it, but most of it. Which means the oxygen can finally get down here to the poor duplicates. If you guys get like 3 pipes done, we can be a lot better off. Meanwhile, priority 8, all of that. Because that is kind of important. Power. Okay, I didn't think about power. You have 3 pumps at nothing. So I should be able to add that in without too much trouble. Because this gas pump's not going to be running for ages. We need to fill up this whole area with oil, get a liquid lock before I even worry about the gas pump. And to start with, I'm just going to have it vent whatever's in the room, which is at the moment going to be a whole bunch of carbon dioxide. But yeah, we need these pipes done. Okay, so that's done. If you guys get those 2 done, we'll set there. And then really, that's the next major important task. Okay, so we're going to dump polluted water in here. We're going to dump oil straight up to this pipe, which leads in here, and then pumps up to our petroleum generator, which I did between episodes actually move the petroleum, because I put water in at the top, which worked great until we had a petroleum boiler, which actually brought the water up to above 100 degrees Celsius, at which point we started, yeah, making steam. If I set you to below, we're literally just going to pump. Oh, go again. We're going to pump what petroleum's left in here out into the new build. And I was smart this time. I built it the right way around, the normal way around, and I put in oil at the bottom. Why do I have a whole bunch of empty pipe commands? It's these weird things that come up after saves. And I just don't get it sometimes. I always end up with a whole bunch of empty pipe commands. And doors that don't work. Anyway. So if we can get this done, it's one stress off my mind, I guess. it means we have some future oil. It's not present. It's actually going to take quite a while to get these up and running. But I'm hoping if we... Sorry. I'm hoping that this pump will basically get rid of all this polluted water, and at the same time I should be able to keep moving it lower and lower and lower. Actually, we might just do that right now. Power wire. Yeah, I'm hoping if I move it low enough, I can just literally pump out this whole section. Obviously, I'd need a second pump over here, but it should be doable. Okay, where's my water? Okay, backup water's now running, because it was only like 1 or 2 of these that have water in them. Actually, the very first one. But that's alright. As long as I've got a sort of a spare stockpile of water. Actually, before we go too much further, I want to mop right now that tile. Because when I mop that tile, it's actually going to subtract from all 3 tiles around it. And I want to get rid of this water. I just want it out of there. New printables. Can't say I won't take a dupe. So, farming, tidying, digging. Sure, you're allergic, you're squeamish, you're a stress vomiter. Perfect. I forgot to name you. Ada. Before your face even hits the floor, you're Ari Amon? Which I think is an amalgamation of 2 actual dupe names. Anyway, we need to mop this now. There we go. Done. It is slightly hot in here. It's going to stay slightly hot in here. Empty. You can just literally be empty around the ground. And water needs to be swept. Because I don't want it turning to steam. Yeah, I know you're flooded. We sort of realised you're flooded. And we sort of realised none of this can be built because the floor's not built. Tubes will get to it, I'm sure. Okay, hang on. Temperature wise. Now that's 1,000 degrees, so that might be a bit of an issue. I need at least 2 tiles. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill it in with the insulation and we're just going to corner dig our way across ever so slowly. It'll take a while, but I'm not in any particular rush, I don't think. Plug that in there, plug that in there. The water's already technically hooked up. I don't think they're going to work underwater. But, you know, if the dupes get it done, the dupes get it done. Okay. Have the autosave finish. Priority 9. I just want to get that done. Because this one's pumping mostly polluted water. This one I'm really hoping we can pump out mostly crude oil. Because crude oil is the real thing we need at the moment. To make sure our petroleum boiler doesn't fall over. Meanwhile, we'll fill in those in there. That's storing everything. Your outputs need to be upped in priority. So you guys can actually empty as well. Not that it's really much of an issue. Okay. So, oil, hopefully sorted. Just with these 3, that should sort it. I can blueprint across to these later. I really need to bring down the whole water level before I worry about pumping out. Well, before I worry about setting up these 3. It could be done. I could set up as a background task and just leave them to it. Maybe not a bad idea, but yeah, it's no rush. Okay, what is a rush is I need this done. Is the power done? Yes. Because I think if they both turn on at the same time... Power consumed 240. Yeah, if... the risk of everything turning on at once is pretty slim. Okay. Okay, so project number 1. Hang on, we'll put that there. We'll pause. We'll go to the top of the map. We'll talk about our rocketry program. So our rocketry program. Actually, no. We'll talk about our telescope. Priority 9. Shove that in that hole. Add power. Add blown fuses. Okay. Power. I joined that to that to that. Okay, so I need to deconstruct that still, because I haven't done that. Deconstruct those two still. Set you to a priority 9 repair, because I'm going to want that power line potentially in the future. Actually... Okay. Gas pipe. We need to bring that up and plug that into our telescope. Okay. So, our rockets. As you can see, these are steam rockets. They're steam with solid fuel thrusters, because if we remember from our previous rocket, our solid fuel thruster needed oxalite, which is literally a touch of gold with a heap of oxygen. We have plenty of both, really. We have this iron volcano, which has pumped out 45 tons of iron. It's all over the map, literally. Oh. No, we still haven't done it. Priority, no. Deconstruct. Okay. So yeah, we've got iron all over the map, which I really need to sweep up at some stage. And oxalite, yeah, oxalite is mainly oxygen, which is not an issue. So I want to keep my steam rockets running. And for that, I'm going to need an oxalite refinery. Now, we have this one over here, but it's miles away. So what I want to actually do is I want to fill both these with an auto sweeper rather than having a dupe do it. So we have a conveyor receptacle up here that's going to be filled with iron. That's easy enough. I'm going to put a second one underneath it, which I'm going to fill with oxalite. That's easy enough. The catch is I need to put the oxalite in a liquid so it doesn't off-gas. On top of that, the conveyor rail that runs all the way up here also needs to be behind tiles so the oxalite can't off-gas. So I need to build this ladder up. Need to build all this stuff, including a power line, which I think I forgot to put in. Yep. Power, conductive wire, steel, because it's getting toasty up here. So yeah, I need to build all this and then rebottom it in, put in my conveyor receptacle, rebottom it in, and then slowly have the dupes back build whilst also, actually, I think I can. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I put a tile there, 3, 4, there. Okay, maybe they can get a couple done at once. Suffocating is probably not good, but it went away. Yeah, so I need to back build and have this as a solid wall of tiles. So when the oxalite runs up this conveyor rail, it can't off gas because it's behind tiles. That's number 1. Number 2, I need an oxalite refinery, which needs to be more than 9 tiles away from the tail of a rocket, because that's a giant heat cone that comes through there. It passes through every wall, every building, every tile. It just goes straight through and kills everything in its way. I got one of these up and running. So, my 2 silly little steam rockets. Well, we need oxalite and iron to get solid fuel thrusters running. On top of that, we need steam from our steam engines. Over here, I have 791 kilos of steam per tile, which is 7 by 6, which is what? 42 tiles worth. That is basically 42 launches. We can call it 40 for even numbers. 40 launches of my steam rockets. So I really, really, really want to keep this little system running for a little while longer. So we're going to ship these rockets to the Carbon Asteroid. The Carbon Asteroid doesn't have a lot on it. We've already done all the research. As you can see, I've got 2 research modules on there. I also have these cargo bays. The cargo bays are there because this one has fullerene, which is one of those special ingredients you need for I can't remember if it's insulation or supercooler. One or the other. And the other one has iso resin, which is needed for the other one that's not, yeah, the other material. So either supercooler or insulation. I think iso resin's insulation and fullerene's supercooler. I don't know. So the idea is, sorry about that. The idea is we're just going to launch these on a loop. I'm going to put pilots in them. I'm going to just set them to launch, come back, launch, come back, launch, come back. Leave the guys in there, never let them out, and just have them ship out the materials on a shipping rail like this, straight out to wherever and dumped. That's the idea. Do I want that out the side or out the bottom? I could bring them across and down. That's not a bad idea. Conveyor bridge, because it's so much easier to do this now than later. Conveyors, cut those. We'll just run it to there, which probably now means I need a ladder in here to be able to reach the center task. Anyway, that's what we're going to do with these. We're just going to launch them on a loop, just picking up a little bit of materials each time and basically let them go. We're never going to let the pilots out of the pilot seat. We're just going to leave them in there and let them get on with business. Okay. These have to go. I can move down the conveyor receptacle. I can put in that tile. Yeah, okay. So this area I need to fill up with liquid. I'm going to drop in probably petroleum from up here because it has the highest phase change temperature that I can access, and hope that with all this insulation, hopefully the temperature in here stays below like 400 and something odd degrees. Telescope idle, we'll start you researching. Auto supers are made out of steel, means I got to keep it sub 275. Again, hoping it isn't a vacuum. I didn't think about that. Actually, it's not really in a vacuum because these rockets are going to be launching every couple of cycles. Okay, I might need to put drywall and cooling behind it. I don't know. We'll get back to that problem. In the meantime, we're just going to start filling in all these insulations to get down here and trying to work out how and where exactly we're going to be putting our oxalate refinery, because it's currently over here, and honestly, I want it over here. So we have, okay, first things first, we need to start with an insulated tile roof. It has to be below this ladder. So we're going to start here. We're going to go with shipping, auto sweeper out of steel. Refinement, oxalate refinery, we go there, it seems. Automation, there to there with a weight plate. Weight plate. Insulated floors, because we can. And then we want shipping. I'm gonna want a container on the floor to hold gold. I'm gonna want to stop pausing the game. Yeah, and then if I do shipping, I do a conveyor loader. One there, with another. Colbert's, really? Storage bin there. Cancel that. We're going to bring power in. Scully. Idle. Okay. idle. Alright, let's get Mafic Rock. Let's get a ladder down here to get coal bits out. We also want power. I want a heavy conduction plate right through there. Dig all that out. Okay. Look, it's just going to be easier just to deconstruct the tiles and actually deconstruct that tile. Okay. Out you go. You annoying tube. Okay, so on my logic, we should be able to bring one rail in there, one rail in there, and I should be able to do both both oxalite and iron all from the same room. We need to put a ladder in there because I need to drywall in at least that much. Space exposure, space exposure, space. Oh, crap. Build some ladders there. Same time, automation. Deconstruct. Protonite. All of that. Make it go away. Power lines. Make all that go away. Gas. Because I'm going to need oxalite or oxygen. There. Where's that oxygen going? Nowhere important. Ventilation. Gas bridge. Push that through that way. Insert it out of sedimentary rock. Can I build you out of mafic? I can. Cancel buildings. No. Gas pipes. That's the one I want. Out of mafic, because it's literally laying around on the ground. Bring that through there with a gas bridge. No, let's bring the ladder in there instead. Buildings. Get rid of that. Get rid of that building and that building and a duplicate checkpoint and a weight plate. More weight plates. Another weight plate. Okay. Space, space, space. Space, space, space. Space, space. Space and space. So the whole room is all exposed to space. New printers. Okay. Okay, I recognize the next name. So the next name we actually have building, cooking, supplying, who farts a lot. So we have a builder cooker. We have a builder cooker who farts. Sure, sure. Perfect new dupe name is Builder Great. Builder Great is super active on my Discord. BTG. He's actually a really, really good guy. He's been around for as long as I can remember, which is probably a good thing and probably slightly scarier all at the same time. Okay, so we're going to build our way in here. We're going to build this up. We're going to dig this crap out of the way. We're going to deconstruct all that junk as well. So, as I was saying, we got steam rockets. Steam rockets require steam fuel. Steam fuel, we have a couple of options. Actually, let's hang on. Let's just get rid of some housekeeping, because that's going to have to be built down one tile at a time. I'm going to hate myself. Unreachable food. Rerun in space. That's bad. Your fridge is not set high enough. Bring rerun snacks. Speaking of Rewind, actually speaking of all our dupes, you are actually our first Rocketeer, Alavan, so we're going to let you out of duplicate training. Slylo has a way to go. Yuxi has not as far to go. Mav has a good way to go, and Rerun in space. Rerun in space. Rerun in space. Has only like 6,000 experience to go. He's going to be slightly stressed at this point. Just slightly. He should be fine. He should be fine. He's got his wheel. He's got no food. So if somebody doesn't feed him, he's gonna die. Yeah. Okay, back to our problem over here. So we've got steam engines, which is steam rockets, which is steam. So I need to make a steam room. And I'm not cheating. I'm being selective with how I do my gas pipes. What we're going to do, because it's steam, and I really don't want it condensing in the pipe, is we're going to use gas bridges. And basically I'm going to use them everywhere I possibly can. The reason is gases magically teleport from... What's that pipe? Actually, that pipe is not important. Icky, get out of my way. Gases magically teleport from one end of the pipe to the other end of the pipe. Or one end of the bridge to the other end of the bridge. So rather than this being 3 tiles worth of bridge, and technically the gas could cool as it passes through these, it's only actually passing through gas. It's passing through these 2 tiles, then these 2 tiles, then these 2 tiles, effectively vastly reducing the distance it ends up actually traveling. And this is why I'm using it, purely because we're dealing with steam, which has a tendency to try its best to cool in the pipes and break your damn pipes. Why are you different lengths? Oh, because I went sideways there. Okay, we'll just leave that as is for right now, so they can get all that started. So down here I want a steam room. It's going to be pretty much the same as our previous one, except there's now crap in the way. Deconstruct all of that. Can I get this slider down lower, please? Dig that tile out. Yeah, I want that gone, and then I want that gone and that gone. Okay. So, 2 gas pumps. As always, we're going to have them join up like this. And okay, hang on. If I bring... So I didn't step across, we'd be down 1 tile lower. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with that method. We're going to go there, there, and there. So I can put a bridge in there, a gas shutoff in there. We can then start joining these together. Because what I actually want is I want a loop for the steam. I want the steam to be able to travel into the steam chamber, but I want it to travel to the rocket, and then should it not fit in the rocket, because the rocket's not there, or the rocket's full of fuel, or whatever, it can then pass on to the next rocket, And if the next rocket's the same, it can then pass its way all the way back down to the steam chamber. So, when we get to the steam chamber, I need a couple of things. One is going to be some radiant pipe out of... Actually, we're going to use aluminium. Because I want to... I basically need to reheat... I need to reheat the gas that's in the pipes. So... Okay, that's that. Put that there, that there. Priority. Now, that one. Priority that one. We want to patch that through to there. We want to... So you're going to pass into the green. If there's no room in the green, you're going to bugger off to the next tile. Which actually means I also need a temp sensor. I need a bit of automation. You're going to need power, which is a later problem. We're going to fill this room in. We want that gone. We want the battery gone. We want that gone, that gone, and that gone. Okay. Why can't you guys get out? Because somebody didn't build 2 ladder pieces. Either one. Hey! Mass exodus of dupes? Yeah. Okay. Telescope idle, sure, we'll give you the next thing to go look at. Okay, so this is going to be your fairly bog standard, nothing particularly special electrolyzer room. 1 ladder, 2 ladder, 3 ladder. Yes, I don't know if LOLs is broken or just doing the Oni think about it. Okay, buildings. That one. And that one. Am I right? Sure. That'll do us. Because I do need a vacuum in here. Not a vacuum, a liquid lock to get in and out. Okay. Tiles, we're going to need to cover that, that, and that. That tile of obsidian can go away. Almost got things done. Alright, so this is going to be your standard, bog standard, nothing particularly special heating chamber. So is what we had before. What utilities? Oh, there it is. Aquatuner. Add a steel. Deconstruct that ladder. Did that break the building? No. Okay. Utilities. Aquatuner. Pop that in there. You're going to do ceramic pipe in and out. We're going to want some automation. I want... I want a thermosensor. Okay, I got a few more tiles out of it. Okay, So I want a thermosensor. I'm also going to want a... So I want a liquid pipe thermosensor. I also want a... Do I need a steam sensor? I just realized I need to get water into this room. Because we're always going to be taking the steam out. Okay. Plumbing, liquid vent. Which now means I need a... Atmos sensor. You guys are going to need a thermo sensor. So I'm going to have... Okay. There's always one more thing. There's always one more thing for me to think about before I try and open my mouth and explain how this is going to work. Only because I'm not sure how this is going to work and I'm sort of making it up on the spot. Unreachable food. Sure navigation. You cannot get out because somehow we have too many suits being requested for delivery. Can you get out now, Muppet? Excellent. Okay, why couldn't you... Show navigation. You could get out the other side from the looks of it. Deconstruct buildings. Top 4, please. Okay, telescope is idle. Alright. Suffocating. Mega Sloth 3. Oh, dude, you're incapacitated. I didn't even notice. Okay, 68 seconds. Because you did the first pressure release. Which, as you can see, we've got a tiny bit of natural gas in here. And it's slightly warm. And I also have water in a pipe. And the idea is I do not want to let this water get so hot it turns into steam. Okay, you're not powered, really? I think you are powered. Oh wow, they're both working underwater. Well, there you go. You're taking pressure damage. I'm not sure why. Actually, we're just going to disable auto repair. It's because I don't have nearly enough power on that circuit. That would be it. Yep, that would definitely be it. It's all set to priority 9. Excellent. Okay, if I do that, that should fix our power problems. The pump that could is passing through the pump that can't. Deconstruct, priority 9, get rid of those 2 power cables. So it's just this one pumping currently, which is just pumping a bunch of oil, which is exactly what we want. Our oil reserves are currently 3 kilos per tile. Perfect. Our petroleum generator is still making petroleum, lo and behold. Although we've got some pressure damage. It's blocked off. I can't actually get in there and replace that. Or repair that. Yeah, letter jetty problem. 440. Yeah, letter jetty problem along with my pump is broken. Okay. My crude oil is just extremely hot instantly. Yeah. Okay, what do you set to? If above 500 kilos. So basically running non-stop and not catching up, to be honest. Okay. Alright. So you're running, you've broken your tile. You're now going for a different tile? Really? Okay, power. Throw that in there. I can forget about that. That's then going to get fixed. Okay. Alright, we need plumbing. I need a liquid shutoff out of steel. Sure. I need a liquid bridge. I need automation. If below... How big is this? 8x5. So it's 40 tiles. So I need 2 kilos per tile for 1 rocket. 4 kilos, 20. Let's go with 20 kilograms. Okay. Power wire. Join that up too. Okay, what am I forgetting? I'm forgetting a liquid lock, which is not forgetting it. I know it's not done yet. Okay, bottle emptier. There and there. There. Automation. I'm gonna need temperature. Yeah, that's something I'm gonna do with that one. Okay. I think we're good. Okay, new printables. Let's look at the printables then. Okay, I'm gonna skip one because I got notes here that don't make sense to me. So I'm gonna have to go back to the comments. So we have got a few actually. Farming, supplying, doctoring, tidying, digging, ranching. Perfect. And you fart. Bonus points. Welcome, Shady. Shady farter. Welcome to the colony, Shady. I hope you'll live a long life, but I make no guarantees. As long as it's interesting, right? Telescope. Can go on to that. Still wish I could queue things. Building broken. Deconstruct buildings. 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles. Yeah, like that. That can get us up to there. We need to bring that over there so you can finish mining out the last of the top of the gravitas building. Okay. We want liquid, we want petroleum, we want sweep only, we want priority 9, we want sweep, we want that off, we want that one, nope. We want liquid, not liquid fireball, petroleum, priority 9, all of that. Oh, mop. Okay, do the mop task first, then we'll do the sweep task. Okay. Liquid, petroleum, priority 9, auto bottle, copy, paste. And one there, it seems. Okay. Alright. Last attempt at trying to explain how this is going to work. Which still is going to need me to pump out the whole room. But that's another problem. Okay. So, we're going to pump out steam. It's going to come down here, jump over this bridge. It's then going to bridge its little way all the way up to Steam Rocket 1. Fill up Steam Rocket 1, providing Steam Rocket 1 is not full. If Steam Rocket's full, 1 is full, or AFK, out on a mission, it's going to flow over to Steam Engine number 2. From there, it's going to flow all the way back down, run through a radiant pipe. Now, the radiant pipe has a sensor down here, and we're going to set that sensor. If the gas is below 120 to play it safe. If it's above 120, we're going to send a green signal, which is going to open the valve, which is going to pass the gas straight out to loop around a second time. If it happens to be below 120, it's going to pass this way. It's then going to jump over. It's going to get vented into the room. I'd love it over here somewhere, but I didn't really think that through terribly well. We've pumped all the petroleum. Okay. Enable auto bottle. Yeah. Turn off sweep. Auto bottle on. Copy settings to there. Okay. So if the steam's hot enough, it's going to pass back through this aluminium pipe, hopefully heat back up, and then loop in the system. If it's not, it's going to get dumped to the room where it can be heated back up, picked back up by these gas pumps, and then pumped back into circulator second time, third time, fifth time, 18th time. Doesn't matter what it is. On top of that, that's a decent load of petroleum. Not enough. On top of that, this is going to need to have something to cool. Over on this side, I used a bunch of petroleum, which I was cooling with a... Well, I was cooling and then I had a temperizer kick in as a backup if it got too cold. Basically, so I could keep running the aqua tuner forever as a heat pump. That's obviously not going to work in here. I don't know what's going to work in here. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, plumbing, before I forget, insulated pipe. We're going to have you come out there, you go in there, because I need to get water in this room if the pressure gets too low. So you're actually hooked up to there. If the pressure's below 20 kilos, we'll dump... Oh, that's not going to work. If the pressure and the liquid... Automation and gate, like so. Automation, Snippy. So, if there's no liquid on the floor, which means this petroleum needs to be mopped up, which I might as well get done now. If there's no liquid on the floor and we're at less than 20 kilograms worth of steam, we're going to add more water to boil more water, turn it into more steam to load up more steam rockets. You're going to run off and you just get cargo non-stop. We need to build that down another 4 tiles. So yeah, you're going to run and get cargo non-stop. This is going to hopefully create steam non-stop. I am going to kickstart it with a bunch of steam out of this room. Purely because why not? I also need to insulate in this room because yeah, I need to find something to actively cool with this steam turbine, and the only thing I can see right at the moment are the ethanol distillers. The ethanol distillers I could actively cool. Like going across the base, like there's not a lot. Like that's all meant to be hot. That's our petroleum tank because I entirely broke this one. Please tell me you didn't put any water in the pipe. Good. If you did, it flashed the steam. So maybe that I could cool. That seems pretty toasty. I've set up this to cool it. I just haven't actually built it in. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of things I can cool. Okay, so I'm going to set you to below plumbing. Oil refinery is probably not going to make any more petroleum. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that whole petroleum line. Because you're now fed from right there. Power lines. Deconstruct. Same story. Deconstruct buildings. Well, you can reach up 3 tiles. So you guys can do the bottom half at least. Alright. Really? Deconstruct. Just now. Just go away. Like, it's not going to be the end of the world on this side, but still. I just had that problem. I just had to rebuild all of petroleum storage because I sucked up the wrong fluid. Okay. I'll put the wrong fluid in the tank. Alright, so I had to move petroleum over here purely because, yeah, I broke the first one. I'll be honest. I broke the first one. And I also, whilst I'm thinking about it or looking at it, I need to put in a fire pole there. And a fire pole there. Because I forgot to do it last episode. So yeah, okay, so between episodes, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be planting some more silly arbor acorns, because we've now got 8 in stock, which are probably on the floor. Yep. Okay, so we're going to plant some more acorns. We're going to cull off, I hope, a whole bunch of pips. And a bazillion 1 Dracos. And it looks like we are. Draco. And Pip. Yep, okay. So we're just recycling the occasional critter, which doesn't have enough water in it again. Oh, that's why you're broken. Okay, so between episodes, add literally 8 kilograms of water in there. That'll fix that problem. Here, get rid of this. In space, finish building this out. Finish vacuuming this out if I can get a stable water log, which it looks like I have currently. So we're just going to disable you. Vacuuming this out is going to be a pain in the ass. I need to move both my oxalite and my oxalite refinery over here, so we can actually start loading rockets when the time comes. So yeah, I got a few things to do off camera. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave this episode, I think. We got oil sort of set up. We also now have a complete backlog on clean water. Yep. Okay, so I got a complete backlog on clean water. We're pumping out oil as fast as possible. Oil is back up to 3 tons per tile, so that's plenty. Yeah, I think the only thing I need to do is the tediness of bringing these tiles down to the ground, or close to, probably within 2 tiles of the ground, because I still need dupes to be able to walk through them, and I also need to do this row of tiles as well. So I got a few things left to do. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you enjoyed. See you guys in the next one. All right, bye.